Shadow Tor have taken a trip through the woods from Looe to examine the old farmhouse at Kilminorth. It's a bit of a historical curio with few known facts about the place. So to get a better look, Matt Bear Clark is launching an eye in the sky. Kilminorth consists of one large farmhouse at present and a scattering of 17th and 18th century outbuildings. There are tantalising stories about antiquity, possible nobility once living here, but where to start looking up maps and facts? It's an early start for Bear as he catches the Looe Valley Line train from Looe Station. Opened for the public in 1879, the line was previously an industrial route for cargo to the busy port. A quick change at Liskeard to the mainline London to Penzance service, westbound. Then, finally, Bear arrives at his destination. The heart of Cornish industry. Red Ruth. Bear is seeking Crescent Kerno, the archive centre, which is a short walk from town. Arriving at the centre, Bear finds the locals don't have much to say about Kilminorth. Very quiet indeed.
I'm here at Crescent Kerno, the Cornwall Archive Centre, to look at some old documents.
Inside, Crescent Kerno is impressive, built into the stony ruins of the old mine buildings and workings. It seems a very suitable vault for precious information. An appointment with scrolls, very old scrolls. Gently unveiling these old documents, frail as they are, is quite a thrill. Here we see the plans for changes at Trelawney Manor, Kilminorth's nearest regal neighbour. Bear is most keen to see the old tithe maps of Kilminorth. The map and its accompanying schedule give all the names of all the owners and occupiers of land in the parish at a certain time. Cross-comparing the two reveals much about the numbers you see on the maps. And there is Kilminorth, in the parish of Talland. Bear is also keen to see the antique postcards of the area. This collection is unique and features views of Looe and the surrounding area. Time for some digital scanning, but Bear struggles with the gloves. Time for a glamorous assistant to take over, and that'll be me. Sadly, no photographs of Kilminorth can be found in the archives, but there is a smashing shot of Watergate. The nearby dock on the West Looe River, just below Kilminorth. The cottage there is a great age, a typical low-built stone building with big chimney stack to the front. We also scanned the schedule, audits and census data. Mr. Searle, the tenant farmer, but Kilminorth was previously owned by Sir W. Trelawney at the time of the listing, then sold by solicitors in Liskeard. The farmers changed ownership yet again. But Mr. Searle, the actual tenant farmer, stayed on. Returning to Kilminorth, it's time to ask a question. What do we know? Archaeologists discovered Neolithic Stone Age tools in the fields above Kilminorth, towards 10-acre Wood. The local area does boast Bronze Age barrows at Polint and Hendersick, one of which was excavated by Matt himself when invited to attend an archaeological excavation by an Australian dig team. The Cornish ancestors of 4,000 years ago have left us clues to their presence here. It was the first time an intact Bronze Age funerary urn had been found in Cornwall. On yonder hill, towards the woods, there are tantalising suggestions of an ancient Iron Age encampment from 2,000 years ago. It's a great spot, hidden in the valley, close to fresh water, fish and game, with easy access to the coast at high tides. The word Kilminorth can be translated to mean crook in the river in certain dialects, which is an apt description of the geography at Kilminorth Farm itself. But who lived here? It is recorded that the first inhabitant of this plot was Wulfwyn of Penhole, born 968. Harking from a nearby community above what is now Herodsfoot, a few miles away, Wulfwyn appears to have made a home for himself at Kilminorth. Wulfwyn remains a big mystery. He disappears in 1066, during a fateful war that would not end well for Wulfwyn and co. But the war does provide some clues as to what was here. The Norman conquest of 1066, the farms, manors and coast were about to get a significant upgrade, although with a hefty tax bill. The Domesday Book, published in 1086, reveals Kilminorth was a small but substantial farmstead, listing 2 smallholders, a slave, 2 ploughlands, pastures to 15 acres and 4 acres of woodland, part of the Kilminorth woods we see today. Old Wulfwyn's lands were now in foreign hands. Kilminorth was listed in the Domesday Book and overseen by Thurston, appointed by Robert of Mortain, the big cheese and brother to William the Conqueror. Thurston was a sheriff, the bad guy, you could say, who was boss of Kilminorth, although with 200 other properties scattered across West Cornwall. Tenants come and go, none making much of a splash to get recorded in the annals of history. Until a curiously large feature on the map of the county of Cornwall by Joel Gascoigne in 1699. This is a significant map, as it suggests rather than illustrates the importance of manors, homesteads and churches through size. This tiny pen sketch of Kilminorth is not accurate. It's merely an icon, suggestive rather than architecturally representative, but it does suggest a person of some importance lived at Kilminorth, clearly an important peer in the community. So why is Kilminorth significant? Don't underestimate the local produce, in this case rich fertile oaks, for boat and shipbuilding. The Kilminorth woods are the largest ancient oak woodlands in Cornwall, now a nature reserve, but they would have had to earn their keep in the past. Looe is still a significant harbour, but in the day the bay would have been full of boats from all over the world. Ships need timber. Interesting to note that a boat builders existed on the flat area of the Kilminorth woods until only a few decades ago. Kilminorth is also favourably set within the landscape, with Watergate as a waterside dock. The rich fields and farmland have previously been exploited by the Stone Age people and Iron Age warriors. The Giant's Hedge literally winds its way past these borders, a huge serpentine monument or barrier erected 2,000 years ago, and is thought to designate the lands of some unknown Iron Age kingdom. At Kilminorth you sit on 2 ancient borders, straddling sea and land. Many have lived here, their stories untold, with few leaving us clues as to their life and death here. But documents, maps, tithe records all help our understanding of Kilminorth, clearly an important and prized farmstead, with hints of grander times in antiquity. A historical location in a picturesque wooded rolling landscape, befit for nobility. Discoveries over the years certainly suggest Kilminorth was a home of high status, when pieces of expensive 15th century plasterwork were discovered in the upper room, back in the 1950s. The leaf pattern, acanthus, has been popular for millennia, a symbol of resurrection. Here we also see the maker's mark, currently unknown but exhibiting fine craftsmanship, perhaps from overseas. The last big personality to live at Kilminorth was Admiral Sir Charles Wager, MP for West Looe from 1713 to 1715. A man of the world, both old and new, he was instrumental in the colonisation of Jamaica and several sea battles. One fateful encounter with the Spanish treasure fleet in the Caribbean made him a very rich man. Wager's action, as it came to be known, made him a wealthy dignitary upon his return, a rear admiral no less. He promptly bought Kilminorth and owned it until his death in 1743. The estate was sold by his widow, Martha. Over the next 2 centuries, Kilminorth evolves into the farm complex we see today. The old map reveals large orchards, and a couple of buildings change shape, but much of the 18th century footprint remains today. Gone are the pigs, cowsheds and stores. Instead, a tasteful transformation to holiday cottages in a well-managed landscape. On site to this day, parts of the old apple press are still present, huge granite roundels. The old maps illustrated the farm was potentially a very fertile and prosperous orchard, likely making cloudy cider, the like of which you can get in the local pubs to this day. As a research mission, Kilminorth has been a good example of why the preservation and digitisation of historical documents is important. Thankfully, we have a few key figures from history to provide us with clues. From Wolfwind to Wager, Kilminorth has some great history to the place. It'll be interesting to see what else we can dig up.